Okay, well, it's May the 9th. I've been going at the book Hammer and Tongs since Jossie Bass agreed to give us the go-ahead. So that's been since Christmas. I've got no extra time to do it, so I'm doing it at weekends and 5 in the morning and things. As a voyage of learning, it's phenomenal. I'm very worried about the end product at the moment because I'm in the midst of all the labour, but it has literally opened my mind wide open. Oh, what a dreadful way of putting it. I will just say a few words about where I am now. I thought I'd take the time while my students this afternoon were modelling their learning and their identity. I thought I'd quietly sit and model where I've got to with our book so far. So over here is me. I've got this big yellow sort of lamp on my head. That to me signifies there's just so much going on in my head in the moment. It's crammed full of stuff, not necessarily the right stuff, not necessarily in the right order, but there's just so much going on in there, it almost hurts at times. And very much the battle between ideas and inspiration and structure. Now, I've got on my little white suit, there's a little palm tree. I don't think it's going to come out in the movie, but the palm tree is kind of the little oasis of calm, and I have to keep reminding myself I'm taking that with me whenever I think I'm going to freak out and have a panic about how little time I've got and how much is left to do and is it good enough. Here we've got what looks like some kind of dark mothership, and this really resembles the work as it starts to emerge. I've got my hand on the tiller over here, but as you can see, it's all a bit jumbled up, so I'm sort of in control, but actually sometimes I really don't think I am at all. If you look into the model itself, perhaps a bit hard to see, there are little chains inside here, and there's a gap in the middle. And that sort of signifies all the kind of links and connections that are going on in my head, but they're all a bit jumbled up in the middle, and so I'm firing all these cylinders and going off in all these directions, but just trying to get some kind of coherence. And as I forge my path on this mothership of doom, sometimes it feels like, these orange bits here signify all the books I keep finding I have to read, all the articles, all the wise things that people have said before. And that can feel incredibly enriching, but it can also feel incredibly stressful as you go off on another tangent and realise there's yet somebody else you really ought to know about. And these are all those somebodies here. I've decided this one is Daniel Pink because I've just finished him, even if he's actually Daniel Red in my Lego model. Over here, this person really signifies all the kinds of educational gurus, the people who have their thrones of learning, their established reputations, but more importantly, their immense body of knowledge that I'm trying to draw on. When I built this, I decided it was Guy Claxton, but it could be anybody, really. And here, despite the fact that there's this kind of, Arctic voyage into the unknown, there is a little vestige of a hope here because there's a kind of, it's a greenhouse, it's a hothouse, and I don't think you can see necessarily, but there are little green plants and orange flowers, and this yellow dome here is the heat that's going in, so something is growing. I just hope it's going to be strong and robust, and hopefully maybe a little bit different. And where I'm planning to get to, here is kind of the citadel of learning. I don't think I'm aspiring to any kind of great throne, or it's certainly not an ivory tower. It's pink and it's vibrant and it's alive. I think I'm definitely aspiring to growth of some kind, but here I think my reward, this is what I'm aiming for here. This is my little garden of tranquility, which is once all the writing is over, once I've managed to pull it into some kind of structure, there I can sit down, I can relax. I don't have to be constantly cramming something into every minute, trying to make sense and fill the gaps. And I'm wearing a little crown, but it isn't anything pretentious or any sort of aspirations of grandeur. I think it's a sense of satisfaction or reward that at some point I will come to the end of this process. however much I'm getting out of it. And there will be growth and development. Now over here, I'm not sure if he'll thank me for this. This giant is Stephen, with his hat of wisdom, and he's overseeing proceedings. So he's already got, he's mastered the citadel. He's already built his whole kind of, I was going to call it an empire of learning. That sounds ridiculous, and it certainly doesn't add value to his contribution or what his role as an educator is. But I think it's just recognising that he's got the oversight, he's got the overview, and I think I'm realising that there are so many people out there who can talk from a position of authority, and I feel I'm coming very much from the ground with local detail in many respects. But maybe that's not such a bad thing, and we can marry the two. So as I said, it's May the 9th. Stephen comes over in 6 weeks, and this is my model of how the book is going so far. And I think I will probably model it again just before he comes over, and I'll see what it's looking like then.